Today I'll discuss the new chapter. The chapter is insulating test and the test and maintenance of insulation. The insulating material and its classified is the electrical insulating material are defined as the material which offer a very large resistance to flow of current. The the resistance of insulation they are and the oppose the current to flow in the insulation material. The insulation or insulator are not carry the current. They oppose the current. Insulator is used for protection purpose in electrical system. So let's see the characteristic of a good insulating material. The characteristic of insulation material is number one, large insulating resistance. There has a large insulating resistance of insulator. The large insulating resistance second the high dielectric strength. There has a high dielectric strength because when the dielectric strength is high, there is no current flow through the insulator or any insulation material. Number three, uniform viscosity. It gives the uniform electrical and thermal properties. When the viscosity is uniform or equally distributed in the insulator, so it gives the electrical and thermal property. Number four should be Number what should be uniform throughout. Throughout, it gives the electric losses as follows as possible and electric stress. Uniform under high voltage difference. Number five, list thermal expansion. Number six, when exposed to arcing. When exposed to arcing should be no ignitable. Number seven, should be resistance to oil or liquid or gas forms acid and alkyl. Should be the resistance to oil or liquid or gas forms and acid or alkyl. Number eight, the high mechanical strength. There has a high mechanical strength because it is attached to the support or attached to the any transformer, or it is the insulator is a holding point to hold the conductor, or it is used the avoid the shock or different type of losses. The high thermal conductivity when the temperature increase in any insulator or any insulation material, then the current will be contact in the conductor. Number 10, the low permittivity. 11, high thermal strength. High thermal strength and the temperature, when the temperature is increased, and then this time the insulator will work. Don't fall don't fail from this temperature with this temperature. Next is classification of insulating material. The insulating material can be classified in the following two ways. Insulating material are classified in this two way. Number one, classification according to the substance or material according or classify according to the temperature. Number one, classification according to substance or their material. Number one, solid. Solid material. The solid material will be the inorganic material or organic material. The solid, the insulation material, mica, wood, glass, porcelain, rubber, cotton, sleek, rayon, terylene, paper, and cellu- cellulose material. There are different type of material are used for the insulation purpose. Number two, there are the solid insulation. And second is liquid, and liquid insulation mean oil, varnish, etc. The lines are renified hydrocarbon, minerals, oil, spirit, and synthetic, etc. This is the oil insulation. Number three, gases, dry air, carbon dioxide, argon, nitrogen, etc. There are different type of gas used for the insulation purpose. Dry air, carbon dioxide, argon, and nitrogen. The three type of three according to material is the insulation are three type: solid, liquid, and gas. Secondly, is a classification according to temperature. According to temperature, are classified in class Y, class A, class B, class E, F, etc. The category of class. The class Y, the insulating material, cotton, sleek, paper, cellulose, wood, etc. And their temperature, acceptable temperature is 90 degree Celsius. And the class A, floating material of class Y impregnate with neutralized cellulose stress in a soliding oil, and their acceptable temperature is 105 degree Celsius. The, this is a classification according to classification of insulating material. Next point is the factor affecting the use of insulating material. The factor affecting number of resistance to ignition, number two insulation resistance and resistivity, number three tensile strength, number four breakdown voltage and electrical strength. The insulation resistance and the resistivity. The resistance is the reciprocal of the conductance, and resistivity is the resistivity in the resistance in the unit volume. The smaller material, the higher resistance. The higher resistance, the inverse relationship between the two, and for the insulating material, always hope the resistivity is high as possible. Second, third point, tensile strength. Tensile strength Tensile strength means, and the acceptable strength means it is the maximum tensile the stress in the test sample. It is the most extensive and the respective of the mechanical properties of insulating material. Tensile strength, it is the most extensive and the respective and very powerful mechanical property of insulating material. For breakdown voltage, breakdown voltage and electrical strength. The breakdown voltage and electrical strength. The damage of insulation material, the damage of insulation material under a strong electrical field losses the insulation performance lead to a conduct the state that is called the breakdown. The breakdown voltage is called on the breakdown. Then the different type of insulating material there has a different property to accept the voltage. When the voltage is increased, uh, the increasable voltage is applied to the insulator. The insulator will be the break with the break after apply the high amount of high tension voltage. This voltage is called the breakdown voltage. So next is property of good transformer oil. The different property of transformer oil. The transformer oil is a very important things of transformer. The transformer oil is used for the cooling purpose and the insulation on purpose. So the need the oil is very good and and very the oil is neat for insulation of the transformer. There have a different type of property. The number one is insulating property. Insulating property, this is a very important property. However, most of the oil is uh, naturally fulfill this. Therefore the deterioration in insulating property due to the moisture. Second is viscosity. It is the important as to determines the rate of the flow rate of the fluid. High, highly viscous fluid need much the bigger clearance for the adequate heat removal. Third point is purity. The oil must not containing the impurities which are corrosive. The oil must the moisture free. There is no mixture with oil. The transformer oil is totally full free from the moisture, water and different type of liquid material. The sulfur or sulfur, it is an compound as impurities causes the formation of the sludge and also alkalic the metal part. The transformer oil when the purity when when a purity, then this time the oil is free of uh, alkalic metal part. Number four, sludge formation. The thickening of oil into a semi-solid form is called sludge. When the transformer oil become a semi-solid form is called the sludge. The sludge formation property have to be considered. The sludge formation property have to be considered while choosing the oil slowly forms. Slowly forms it becomes the semi-solid hydrocarbon. Next point is acidity. Acidity, the oxidized oil normally produced on the carbon dioxide, CO2 and the acid and the cellulose which is in the paper insulation contain a good amount of a moisture. This form is corrosive the vapor. A good breather can reduce the problem due to formation of acid. When the acid is produced in the transformer oil, the oxidizing oil normally produces the carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide uh, is absorbed. Carbon dioxide, the insulation contain a good amount of moisture, and the carbon dioxide is corrosive vapor produced in the transformer. The good breather reduce the carbon dioxide and free outside the transformer. Next point is a procedure of acidity test of insulating oil. How to test acidity of a transformer oil? The number of procedure will take to test a acidity test. Number one, for that we have first to take exact 1 gram of insulating oil. At first we take the 1 gram of exact 1 gram of insulating oil. We normally do this by taking 1.1 milliliter of the oil to be tested by provide the volumetric syringe. We have first to take the 1 gram of insulating oil by a volumetric exchange, and, and actually 1.1 milliliter oil is taken as a 1 gram. Second point, before test we have the dissolved the acid in the oil. Oil and that we do by the adding a exact of rectified spirit in the test sample. This is because the acid produced in the mineral oil is highly soluble in the alcohol. The second and third point is, after taking the test sample, we will add the 1 milli of sodium carbonate in the sample. The procedure of acidity test of insulating oil. At first, we take a mineral insulating mineral oil. At first, we take the insulating oil in a test tube. Then we add the then we add the sodium carbonate. Then we add the sample of sodium carbonate. And then sodium carbonate is the most suitable alkyl for that purpose because does not change it. Does not change it. Number 4, at least after that is shaking the sample, the mixture we have to add it. After shaking the mixture, we have added the 5 drop of universal indicator. The mixture is mineral oil and sodium carbonate. Then we'll leave shaking. After shaking we have added the sample of 5 drop universal indicator. After making a solution making a solution of sodium carbonate or mineral oil and 5 drop of indicator, we observe your observation that the color of the sample will, after mixing the rectified spirit, the sodium carbonate and the universal indicator are describe the value of the acidity of the oil as a sample in milligram KOH per gram. KOH, the potassium hydroxide. It is the procedure of acidity test of mineral oil.